Alright, what's up guys? This is it. The last video for the RUF ever. Had a lot of fun with it. It was a fun car, but I'm looking forward to moving on to other cars again. Test out the Mercedes next week and then the Audi whenever that shows up. Looking forward to just driving some new cars. New cars as far as the real world's concerned, and then new cars as far as iRacing is concerned, because I feel every time iRacing builds a car, they have to learn something, so the cars just keep getting more accurate with that in mind. So I had a lot of fun with this car for a fake car. I mean, they did a pretty good job, and the whole reason I picked it is because back in the day, if you remember, I was doing 4 different cars every week on race prep videos, and this is a car I was just faster with every week, and it was the most fun to drive. So it's a little bit of a bummer. We have to finish with COTA. Kind of a disappointment as far as I'm concerned, is when you heard America was getting a new track, you know. They're going to put elevation changes in, all this fun stuff, and then they came up with this. But I try and find the positive in everything, and it's not a track where you naturally find a rhythm. But once you do, there is a rhythm there, and it's kind of nice when you get into that rhythm. But again, much rather would have finished it like Brands Hatch or the Ring, something like that. But here we are, so you start a job, you got to finish it. So one more week, one more setup. Got the Ring Grand Prix circuit set up. I think it says modified because I have more caster in it than what I shared on. So actually what we'll do, call this B2, and then we'll go run some laps with this, see what we get. Right now I don't have volume, that's what I got. There we go. Funny, I got 3 different ways to control volume. Cray. Alright, let's go do this one more time. Not sure if I'll do races this week, just because I'm not sure if I'll have the time. I know it's kind of lame not doing a race on the last week you're gonna drive the car, but it is what it is. Got some other things I'm thinking about down the pipeline. Might as well talk about those. I got your undivided attention in the first 2 minutes of a video. Don't hold me to it. There's some things I'm thinking about doing. I want to do both the Mercedes and the Audi. Tune both of those every week. And then also want to maybe work on the Renault open wheeler car, just kind of expand the audience and my knowledge, because I haven't done a lot of work on open wheel cars, so that'll be fun to learn some new stuff and go through that whole process, read up on some more stuff I haven't read up on before. And something I'm kind of doing behind the scenes right now is learning to drive the McLaren MP4-30. Is that a hyphen? I don't know. So I've been messing around with that at Spa, just trying to get my head around that, and maybe in the future start making some videos for that car, and maybe just seeing how far I can go with that car as far as racing and competing is concerned. But still all very new developments, and I've learned doing these videos and such that it's really easy to bite off more than you can chew. So, and it already kind of sounds to me like I'm doing that. So we'll see how it goes. maybe take a little bit more laid back approach to the GT3 cars like I did when I was doing all 4 cars before, where it's just, you know, more or less a baseline setup and then let you guys go from there instead of like a fully polished setup, which is honestly, I mean, I haven't really done a lot of work on this setup just because it's kind of been a pretty solid baseline to work off all season, so it took in a lot of work to get the car where I thought it was good for the masses, which is nice. I mean, basically, once I got to that Daytona set, that was the basis for everything, and then I figured out to put more caster in it last week, and pretty happy with it, so we'll see how it goes this week. Right now I'm just getting used to the differential and speed, because like I said, yesterday was about 4 hours of just, I bought the McLaren, the F1 car, and those are the first laps I did with it. Started with the baseline and slowly worked up to a set that's not trying to kill me at every opportunity. And needless to say, that car's a little bit faster in this one, so just recalibrating the brain to the speed we're going now. Luckily I've put quite a few laps down on this track, so, in a GT car, so some parts of my brain still know what to do. And it's cool because I actually got to use my Formula 1 wheel, which I haven't been able to use much, but I'll be using that more when I do the Renault stuff. And I also figured learning the McLaren would help make learning the Renault a lot easier. But we shall see what kind of adjustments we get when that comes out next week. And next week, I don't know. I'm starting to think about streaming on Twitch again, give it one more shot, because I've had a lot of trouble with that. I have a lot of time off next week, which is just worked out fortuitous with the new development deploy, so maybe I'll do a lot of streaming next week, but again, don't quote me. Probably do a couple laps, see where the tires are at, and equalize those. This track just takes a lot of patience. Feels like I'm going so slow right now compared to the McLaren. Which, heck, might be a good thing. Or it just means I'm not going fast enough. But yeah, we definitely feel like we're in slow motion right now. Oh, I also got some new little studio lights. Let me know what you think of them. I think they illuminate my third-person cam a lot better now. Pretty stoked on those. Yeah, I'm like quarter the price they are normally. Alright, now just getting warmed up, figuring out braking points. Like there, broke at about 160. Probably get away with breaking out 150 there and brake a little bit harder. Oop, completely missed my apex. This one, I know you gotta let it swing out wide, and I just really feel sorry for people that on triple monitors on this track. Not that you can ever see the apex of that corner anyways, because every car I ever drive has a huge A-pillar and you can't even see it regardless. Down to third, miss my apex. Come up here, braking at that little asphalt strip that's out to the right. That's my apex. Kind of let it slowly coast through here, down to third, just a little bit of gas and coasting. Kind of want to hug this curb as much as possible. Gives you a nice wide entry for this corner. Again, you just have to be insanely patient through this whole section. Down to second to help it turn. I've always had trouble swinging out way wide there to get the right line off the corner. I've always taken a more shallow line, so that's something I work on every time I get here, is just making sure I stay out wide and then come back in for late apex. Alright, I'll try and brake at 150 a little bit harder. It's nice, I got a white line right there. It's a great little braking marker. That's pretty solid. Let's try and make sure we find our apex. We're not going to do it. Not even close. So I need to brake a little bit sooner next time. Here, I'm not really worried about that first apex. It's all about this second apex, even though that turned in a little too early. And here, you usually just have to lift just a little bit. Oh, maybe go down to third to help it rotate. Come back and get that second apex. See if we can find the apex this time. There we go. That's pretty good. Again, breaking that last strip right there. It's pretty good.
2 minutes 7.7.
Here's no real braking markers, so kind of just got to find like a blotch of dirt on the ground or something, which I think I did. And there's like a little tan blotch of dirt that I used for a braking marker. Here we'll try and get a little bit more of the apex. There we go. It felt pretty good. Yeah. Maybe just keep it in fourth there. Let it bounce off the rev limiter. Trying to get as close as little pyramids as you can without destroying the car, because you don't want to touch them. I mean, it'll completely destroy the front end of this car. Keeping it in third this time. Felt pretty good. Broke a little bit after that braking marker there, but it's probably just a little too deep, as you can see. And we'll brake at 150. That worked out pretty well last time. Here, again, I found like a little dirt blotch. I'm gonna start using my brake marker. Kind of hard to explain to you guys though, which ones they are and all that stuff. So wait a little bit longer, then turn in. There we go. Go up to fourth just for a second, and come back down to third just to help it rotate again. There's another dirt blotch I'm using for a brake marker there. So I guess this lap, I'll try and focus on those dirt blotches for you guys and point them out. Alright. So we're coming up to the dirt blotch. It's right on the right next to the curb. It's right there. And that's what I'm using for my braking point for there. Just probably have to go back and rewind the tape to really see where it is when I say there, but it was just hugging that right, or the red and white curb. Again, you want to hug this curb down to third. Probably should have gone down to third earlier. Get a wide entry so we can keep it in third, middle to late apex. Come back, don't hit the dragon seat. Ooh, that's pretty nice through there. And the set's feeling pretty doggone good, not gonna lie. Okay, so here I'm gonna brake a little bit before the white line on the right. There we go. That's a lot better. Oh, but we got a little bit of one of those. It wasn't quite a pyramid. It was more like a yellow curb bump. Again, up here, just braking the 150 brake marker, which is a little white line. You can see the sign on the right, but you also see the white line right there. Make sure you get on the brakes pretty good. Oh, well, too good actually. So probably brake a little bit farther. Okay, so here. It's like that little, to the right of the car, there's a, almost like a circular dirt blotch about the same size as the car, and that's what I'm using. I'm gonna go down to first gear here just to help it rotate. You just gotta always remember you're in first gear because it'll want to just spin the heck out of the tires. Let's keep it in third gear. Then here, see this little dirt right there? That's what I'm using for a reference point. Alright, let's see what our tires are like. Guess we could look at them. Yeah, let's just do this. Hold on. Just point them out as we're going over them with the chopper view. Alright, so braking, mark it right there. That was it. Go back. I guess we should look at this from the in-car view, shouldn't we? Because it looks completely different. See that right there? That's my braking point. Oh, right there. That little dirt blotch is the braking point there. And here, see this little dirt blotch right here? That's what I'm talking about. I'm braking like right... I use it as a reference point. So right now I'm probably braking before it, but you know, eventually it's like, alright, I'll brake 5 feet after that, I'll brake 2 feet after that, whatever. So see that blotch right here? That's kind of what I'm using for a braking point. Then this right here is what I'm using for a braking point here. Right there, this whole blotch thing here. That's my reference point for braking. Okay. Now, see what our tires are like. Ooh. Pretty low. Doesn't feel bad though. They're all pretty even. I don't know, let's just go up. 3, 3, 3. I'm gonna go up one click all around, see how it feels. Cause that's a pretty big drop off. I usually don't see that much drop off, but I think it's just the nature of the track. It's just not a track where you're really pushing the car. You're more or less coasting through everything. It's just one of those tracks where if you push too hard, you're just gonna go off track. And there's so many, like this section, there's an S after an S or after an S. So if you overdrive the first part, you're gonna mess up the rest of the section. So you have to really focus on getting the beginning of your line right, so the whole rest you're not just freaking playing catch up and losing time left, right, and center. Maybe put a little bit more responsiveness into the front end, see if that helps it change direction a little bit quicker, because you are changing direction so much here. That's like, oh, I'm gonna hit the curb, don't want to do that. Because that's what, I mean, you spend so much time going back and forth on this track that in theory, if you can get that front end to be more responsive and transfer the weight from one side to the other quicker, you're better off. Drove in there a little too fast. So let's see what I could get away with there. And next week should be a fun week. 2 new cars to test for sure, the Mercedes and the Renault. I really hope the Audi comes out. It's kind of a buzzkill. It's not coming out next week, or I haven't heard anything to that effect. There you go, that was really good through there. Broke too late there. So that's going to be personal preference there, whether you want to go into 4th gear or not. I think it really is dependent on how good you get out of the previous corner. Okay, so I broke about 2 car lengths after that previous braking point I was talking about earlier. Maybe just a little too deep, but it's pretty far off that previous braking point, but the main point being, that's still my reference point. So, most important thing, as long as you have a consistent reference point that you're continually judging your braking off of. And who knows, you can maybe find another one farther up, and then start using that. Yeah, see, right there I messed up the corner before the last corner and didn't give me a chance for the last corner I was talking about earlier. There you go, so I broke a little bit closer to the white line. That was a better braking point. Not paying attention at all. And that's one good thing about this track, is you got runoff for days, so it's pretty hard to ruin a car here. Yeah, too fast. You can do first or second in that corner. You just gotta remember, when you're in first gear, you gotta be paying attention on exit, because it's all it wants to do is spin the tires way too fast. So now we're in damage control mode, trying to get back online. Now we're kind of back online, but we lost that time because we had a We just went a little too fast in the beginning. So again, that's going back to you really want to make sure your entry's good so you can get the rest of the corners good. Because for me, I always like having a better exit than I do entry. Like, just much rather get out of the corner faster and enter the corner, especially in a car like this, which really doesn't like to go into corners fast, but it does like to come out of corners fast. In all these corners, I'm using first gear. You can use second gear too. It's just when you're in first gear, you gotta remember you're in first gear. And too deep again. Just never thinking when I'm going in that corner, and you see the results when you don't pay attention. Because first gear will just help that car rotate so much more, but you just have to be so much smoother with your throttle when you get back on it. Yeah, it is going to be sad to see this car go. I know they're going to do more of it for the Sprint Series, but I'm just not going to have the time to work on it with all the other stuff I'll be doing. Some point, you just got to let go, man. Hopefully they get an actual portion here one of these days, and I'll be back for that. You better believe it. It's hard not to like the car, though, that first off you just enjoy driving, but you know, got me my black stripe. It really is a fun car to drive. That section was pretty nice until the exit there. I just wanted to get on the gas a little bit sooner. I probably should have. There, I'm braking at the white line, and it was a little too deep. A little bit better. So what happens when you go too fast on entry in this car? Yeah, and see if I can get a good clean lap in, and maybe make some adjustments if front, see if I can get the front to turn a little bit quicker. It's the only thing that's really popping in my, I mean, honestly, I want to put this up as a baseline, but which it's a perfectly fine baseline right now. But I do have that idea in my head, so I want to see what happens. First, I want to put a good lap down. I'm actually using the downshifts to help turn the car on entry. Like I did right there. So as you're turning in downshift, it usually helps the car rotate just a little bit more. Almost got that right. Just probably need to brake like half a foot further, and then when I turned in, I want to hit that curb. So a little fine tuning in that regard. That was darn near perfect. It's probably a little too fast on entry. A little too conservative on entry, but it's alright. It's better than spinning the car out. Alright, pretty happy with that lap.
2:06.6.
Let's see what the tire pressures are like. I can dig it, feels good. Oh, save this. All right, so what's going on? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Okay. Seem to have some kind of glitch with this camera. So I'll try a different camera. That one doesn't want to play nicely. Wow, what is going on? Oh. I hit a button. I don't know what button I hit. It's like add a camera or something. So we got something weird going on. Hit escape. Maybe that'll fix all your problems. Control. I'm annoyed right now. Alright. Hold on. There's always a way. I hope. Yay. Alright. So, we're going to focus on the front of the car, and we're going to focus on compression dampening. So compression dampening is what controls the springs as they compress. So we're going to go into a right-hander in the next corner, right? So the car is going to roll over to the left. As it does, this side's going to compress. Now, if we put more compression dampening in here, what happens is it transfers the weight from this tire to that tire quicker. Because this spring's not, the compression dampening controls the rate at which the spring compresses. So you put more dampening in it, the spring's going to compress over a longer period of time, but it also means that more force is going to go directly into the tire in a quicker amount of time. It's kind of backwards in those regards. So if you had less compression dampening in here as the car rolls over into the corner, see here, oh, I have to go to a lap where I actually go through the corner. So as we go into this corner, you're going to see the car roll to its right. It's kind of hard on that corner because it's a gradual entry, but the car's rolling over to its right. If we took all the compression dampening out of this, the spring would compress faster, but that energy is going into the spring compressing. It's not going into the tire. So if you stiffen this up, it's going to compress slower, and it's going to force the energy or the weight to transfer into this tire quicker. So by doing that, you create a more responsive front end if your front end's too soft. If it's too stiff, you're just going to make the car push more. because it's already too stiff a front end. And if you have too stiff a front end compared to the rear end, then the car is going to understeer. If your front end's softer relative to the rear end, or relative to what it was before, the car will want to oversteer into the corner. A cool little computer glitch there. Alright. So, let's see what we got. Now, low speed compression controls the body roll of the car I'm talking about. High speed compression controls the spring is at faster movements as it goes over bumps and stuff like that. But I have found through testing, high speed compression also controls handling as well, not just bumps. So what I want to do is I want to go up 1 click on the compression. I'm going to go up 2 clicks on the high speed. And we'll see if I can feel any difference in the front end at all. What I want it to do is just be more responsive, turn faster, because now it has more compression in there, more dampening in there. So again, it's going to transfer that weight quicker. It's not going to transfer more weight or anything like that. It's just going to transfer the weight at a quicker rate from the inside to outside tire, which results in a more responsive front end in theory. That actually does feel pretty good as far as changing directions, because that's really where you're going to notice. You're going to notice it on turn in, and you're going to notice in it as it's changing directions. Out of you. Alright, let's try that again. It's being a little too aggressive. And the way I just hit that curb, that's about as lucky as you'll ever get. If you actually hit those curbs and don't die, then you're lucky. Again, that's another corner, like you'd think you're at a disadvantage if you didn't have a single screen, but that A pillar is so freaking big you can never see the apex anyways. It's a total by feel thing, and eventually you just get it. Definitely feels more responsive in the front end right now. This really is wanting to change directions more than it did before. So, front end was not too stiff. Seems like it's just a little too soft, so just help that out just a little bit. Completely missed the apex, but we didn't miss it as bad as we did the previous time on this hot lap, or the reference lap I should say. Just gotta be really patient with this corner. I've probably gone in too fast every single time. It's probably one of my better efforts right there. So I was really thinking about it. It's a little too fast on entry there too, but pretty good lap regardless.
6.1.
Again, this is default weather. Sorry, I said that earlier. Like all my initial testing sessions are usually just default. Pretty good turn in. I think I just turned a little bit too early, so I had to back out the steering and then go back into it. That was beautiful. I almost feel like I should be going into first there, maybe. I don't know. It's the one part where the front end just doesn't really want to turn. I actually went through there with the correct entry speed for once. You see the difference in the time. Went through there a lot better too.
2 minutes 6.1.
See, I'm enjoying this track right now. It's if you've never, see, I probably just destroyed the front of the car. But if you haven't driven this track, it's really frustrating to start. But once you find that rhythm, I don't think that was a previous lap. Oh no, that was that lap. And you can see it just. I mean, it didn't destroy it, but definitely around the front. But let's go back, because I like that camera angle. Let's go back to my fast lap. Just watch how the car changes directions through the S's, and you can kind of picture those, the compression dampening doing just a little bit more work, just stiffening up those individual corners, allowing the weight to transfer from one side of the tire to the other a little bit quicker. So now it's going to transfer the other side. It's just going to do a little bit quicker. And there's not, and you can see it really right there. And then back. Just really likes to change directions. Or if you took all the compression out, then it would just be really sluggish and be taking a while to move back and forth. I mean, that shot pretty much illustrates what's going on in the front end better than anything else. Looking forward to having flashing headlights too. That'll be cool. And you see I just barely missed that apex because I had to do a double turn on it. Well, I think that's going to be it, guys. It was fun. It was real. It was real fun. But I think my days of the RUF are over. Alright. Well, I will see you guys later. Hope you enjoy this set. Happy racing, and next time I'll probably see you, it'll be a test day, fun day. So take it easy. Happy racing. Bye-bye, RUF.